Got it. Um, so, okay. So kind of sticking within the construct that you outlined for the larger companies, where, these companies bid, you select your agency, there's an MSA in place. One thing that we would do as part of some of the other pharma services opportunities that we evaluate is almost like a contracted, business or runoff analysis where, you're like, hey, these guys have a contract for X revenue and they've only done, 20% of it, so we know 80% is coming over, some amount of years. What I want to ask you is, in the communication space, which, we feel is, I guess, a little bit less sticky inherently than, say, for example, a CRO or something like that, is that contracted revenue? Can we really, anchor ourselves around that? I mean, is that real? Is there any chance that something falls away?
Yeah, definitely. Whether they are contracting to a medical affairs organization or a commercial, we could fire that agency anytime. Okay? So obviously, most of the time, it's renewed in an annual basis, so we will not renew them. But if there's something major that was off target with regards to what we expect, I have seen, especially commercial, they are pretty good on firing agencies because, they use their agencies for promotional reasons and they cost a lot of money to them, that they would fire them. Okay? So especially if whatever that revenue that you're talking about, where 80% is still to be realized in the future, that is based on their projection. And if the details, the devil is in the details. If that is based on one or two large accounts, then it's more risky, because if those accounts fails, then a significant portion of that revenue is gone. Okay? And there's a lot of competition with regards to medical communication. If you just go and Google the list of medical communication agents here in the U.S., just here in the U.S., there's tons of it, hundreds and hundreds. And it's a global business, so you don't necessarily need to hire somebody here in the U.S. This agency could be somewhere in Europe and it still work for you here in the U.S. It's not a problem. So in addition to the competition here in the U.S., you're competing with specifically English-speaking countries in Europe, because those like London or UK, where there's a lot of agencies too. So that's, in my mind, you need to look at the details of where that revenue is coming from in the future. There's no guarantee. Obviously, you prepare for success, and they're preparing for success. They would like to make sure they realize those revenues.
Got it. So if I'm hearing you, it's not impossible, but it does sound like the probability is rather remote. It really depends on them, making an error. You're not just going to terminate someone.
And also, so you, instead of looking at the revenue, you have to look at other things too. You need to look at the reputation of this agency and prior history of the agency. What's the turnover in terms of their staff? It's very important. If their staff are happy and they're doing a good job, they will stay in one agency. Two, how long are their contracts with their client, past clients? If they have a history of long contracts and, there's an end to a campaign, so you probably have lost that because of that. And if you're seeing that, then that's also telling you that they're keeping up. Their clients are happy. They're keeping them for many years. Because I just told you, if they're doing a good job, we don't change the agency. We continue to work with them. Okay? So it will be many years, especially if in a newly launched drug. It will take, it's basically probably 8, that you said, if you're looking at a 5-year plan, they will be around in 5 years.
All right. Okay. And so, all right, this is all makes good sense. I guess maybe then what I'd like to get a sense of from you is,